students, very open-minded, inquisitive. Yesterday evening especially a lot of questions and discussion happened. So I hope this session will be helpful to you also. And in fact for every Indian, this is a very relevant session because it is about Indian knowledge systems, Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. And the education department of India has introduced this formally for all of us so that we can know more about our own culture. Okay. And this session is for thinkers. I want all of you to think, not just sit spaced out. I see some people sometimes they are sitting here but mentally somewhere else, absent-minded. Or some people are sometimes their head goes down, so something is happening below. Some message. But I request your attention. Generally it is said that attention span was 12 seconds. Now it has reduced to 8 seconds. Since the time social media, Facebook, Instagram has come, the attention span has reduced to only 8 seconds, and that is reducing fast. And people are even becoming addicted to smartphone and to fast lifestyle. We are living in a life which is like a rat race. Bhago, bhago, bhago. Right? Early morning you get up, start running to college. After college you start running somewhere else. Right? So the life is like running. It's a rat race. And in this rat race, we are only thinking of these things: eat, survive, reproduce, sleep, like this only. What is animal is also doing this only. Okay, what this fellow is doing? Eat, survive, reproduce. This fellow, eat, survive, reproduce. Same thing. What about this fellow? All of us. Are we also supposed to live like this only? Just eat, survive, reproduce, die. The same cycle. Right? So this is a general cycle of every human being. Right? He is born and goes to school, makes friends, gets graduated, then after that gets a job. That's the dream of many of you, getting a nice high paying package, then fall in love, get married, have a baby, and nowadays relationships don't stay very long, especially in the West. You'll be surprised to know that in the West, divorce rates have reduced. You know why? Yeah, people have stopped marrying. And foreign chance, go to foreign country, retire, make a will, and then die. Again, then what? Again be born, like this. It's so boring life cycle, isn't it? Sometimes life becomes boring. No? Morning come to college, attend classes, go to home, eat, sleep, again get up, again college, again get up, and life becomes routine and boring, isn't it? So these kind of sessions, especially about Indian knowledge systems, are like something different, which helps us to wake up and think deeply. So here are some facts of the modern world. Bigger houses, smaller hearts. I have seen some people, big house, only 2 people staying and 1 big dog staying inside. And in the gate they have written, beware, trespassers will be persecuted. We have more medicines, but lesser health. We have more comforts, but lesser time to enjoy those comforts. So this is the paradox in which we are living in the modern times. So that's why we have to stop the rat race and think. Think about what? Who am I? Why is there pain and suffering in this world? What is the goal of life? What am I supposed to do in life? How can I get happiness? So all these questions are the first basic point which every human being should ask about. Animals don't ask these questions. Animals only think about, where is my food? They eat their food. After eating, they think about, where can I sleep now? And while sleeping, if any other animal comes, then they start fighting, barking, and they chase them away. So that's what animals only do: eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. But humans can think of higher purpose of life. So these kind of sessions are for all humans. And only 3% of the humans are wise, and 97% are otherwise. That's the statistics. Only 3% are wise. ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇದೆ, 3% ಜನರಿಗೆ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಇದೆ, ಉಳಿದರೆಲ್ಲ otherwise they don't have intelligence because they don't think. I know many people how they pass their exam. Copy, paste, copy, paste, cram and vomit. Right? Recently we conducted one examination and we got very good scores. Then we thought, let's conduct interview. We took top 15 people and started doing interview, and we found out 50% of them actually did not study. Copy paste. Now they're chat GPT. You put any question, they will get the answer. So this is a age where there is lot of information we have, but people are not realized. There is no transformation. Lot of information but no transformation. So that's the paradox of this world, isn't it? Like animals are sometimes better than humans. Like the fishes and sharks can run faster. We can't compete with them. We can't compete with the cheetah in running. We can't compete with elephant in power. Right? In long jump, we can't compete with the leopard. So human life is not meant to compete with animals, but to make our life better. Human life is precious. Manava janma doddadu, idu ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡಲು ಬೇಡಿ ಹುಚ್ಚಪ್ಪಗಳಿರ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ದಾಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, right? Human life is very rare. So human life is meant to think. That's what our Vedas talk about. Vedas, the first thing Vedas advise all the humans is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. There's the first sutra of Vedanta Sutra. Any human being, he should start questioning Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Jigyasa means inquisitiveness. Start asking questions. About what? About life, about Brahman, about God, about purpose of life. That's what we are all supposed to do. Athato Brahma Jigyasa. So here, this is the time where Indian knowledge systems comes into picture, where we had very, very great sages who gave us incredible knowledge, incredible information that can bring us transformation. For example, Sanskrit is there, wonderful architectural knowledge is there, arts, astronomy and Jyotishya, then there is medicine, surgery, you will see wonderful architectural marvels, civil engineering, Gurukula system and dance and all Vedas and the books. We have tremendous knowledge, but somehow the modern generation is getting disconnected from the roots. How many of you have read Bhagavad Gita? Please raise your hands. Okay, 5, 6 people, mainly elders and very few students, right? How many of you have studied Sanskrit Bhasha? Sanskritam? Okay, some of you. Okay, many ladies, girls have studied, and some of you here. Very good, thank you. So, but most of the younger generation is getting disconnected. And I know many people choose Sanskrit to study because it's very easy to score marks. As sir was telling in the beginning, okay, he was telling that no, this session will have marks, then students take it seriously. But marks should be the last thing to study, no? Study for. One should study because of interest. When there is interest, automatically marks will also come. So, the motivation to study should not be marks, but it should be passion, it should be interest, right? So that should be the motivation to study. So that's why Indian knowledge systems we are discussing today, and I have categorized today's session into 7 topics, which is also prescribed by the syllabus. So in line with the syllabus, I have made some points. So we will discuss overview of the Vedas, overview of IKS, what are the Vedas, and most of the time I will discuss this 2, 3 and 4, these 3 points. A considerable amount of time we will devote today. What are the Vedas and how modern science is agreeing with what Vedas are telling, and what is the philosophy of the Vedas. Some important points, concepts of the Vedas I will put forward to you today, which are universal and anybody from any part of the world will agree to this. And importance and benefits of Indian knowledge system, and will end with why Indian knowledge systems faced a setback in the last maybe 1000 years, and especially in the last 300-400 years, and how to bring them back, how to revive it. So that will be the topic of our discussion today. Are you ready? Okay, let's begin. So what is the Indian knowledge system? The Indian knowledge system is a term used to refer to the intellectual and philosophical traditions of India, which have a long and rich history dating back to ancient times. Right? Our ancestors were great intellectuals, they were great philosophers and thinkers. And the term used for intellectuals and philosophers in India is Rishi. Rishi means a thinker, or a Muni means a thinker. Muni means one who thinks. So, yesterday I was talking to one of the professors from another college. He was telling, sir, how to present this concept is very difficult. Then I said, present our rishis as scientists. They are actually great thinkers and scientists. Generally, we undermine our rishis, thinking that no, they were all sitting in the forest and doing nothing, just doing some meditation. No, but they were great thinkers. And just by their meditation and by their sadhana, great, tremendous knowledge was revealed to them. And they wrote it in several books and taught it to others, isn't it? So I'll tell you some of the things which our great Indian ancestors have discovered and revealed to us. Okay. So, and the history of Indian knowledge system dates back long ago. Any guess how old are the Vedas? Anybody can guess? How old are the Vedas? Approximate? 1000? Okay. Somebody says 1000. Anybody else? Yes? Somebody said 1000. 1000 is very recent. Yeah? Manvantaras, Yugas. Yeah. Actually, the Vedas, some actually modern Indologists, they say Vedas are 5000, some say 6000, some say 11,000 years old, but they are all wrong informations. No? But if you see the Vedas, in the Vedas itself it is written how old are they? Isn't it? Just for example, Bhagavad Gita, the modern history says, and Mahabharata also, from Mahabharata we can understand it is 5000 years old. Bhagavad Gita is 5000 years old, and there is no other book in any other tradition as old as Bhagavad Gita. You take any Western philosophy, Western religions, no book is 5000 years old. Okay. Now in Bhagavad Gita, what does Krishna say about Gita knowledge? Imam vivasvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivasvan manvepraha manu iksha kavya bravit, as madam is telling, Manvantara. Krishna is telling, I spoke this knowledge to Vivasvan. Vivasvan spoke it to Vayvasvata Manu. Vayvasvata Manu spoke it to Ikshvaku. Ikshvaku is the king in the Surya Vamsha, Ramachandra's dynasty. So how old is Manvantara? It's millions of years. So basically the Vedas are timeless. They are the timeless wisdom which have been passed down since ages, and we have access to such a treasure, but somehow we are not able to access it. We are not reading it and understanding it. So here is a wake-up call for all of us to at least start exploring and start understanding what does they contain. So let's see now. So here's a newspaper cutting which I took. It says the aim of IKS, it aims at engaging in spreading the rich heritage of our country and traditional knowledge in the field of arts and literature, agriculture, basic sciences, engineering and technology, architecture, management, economics, etc. May I know what is your branch? Chemistry.
ICP. Computer Communication Engineering, and one more is ICP.
ICP. What is ICP? Cyber security. Okay. I studied 20 years back, so these are all new subjects. Okay. So all of you are studying computers and computer security. Now take these concepts of Vedas and see how you can implement in your own subjects. Like yesterday there is a group of electronics engineers. I said, okay, take Sankhya philosophy which talks about elements and electrons, protons. It is there in Sankhya philosophy. Right? The Panchamahabhutas, 24 elements, they're all mentioned. See how you can implement those concepts in your own projects and then try to do research on this. And actually, there's a lot of research happening in this field. Right? Even ISKCON has an institute called Bhaktivedanta Institute, where they are researching on consciousness, Chetana. How Chetana comes. Is it a product of material interactions, or is it a anti-material concept? Right? And how the consciousness is spread throughout the body. Why not beyond the body? So this is a study which we are also trying to do scientifically. Vedas talk about it, we know about it, but scientifically when you prove, then a mass of people will also accept it, right? So Indian knowledge systems, so any knowledge which originated in Bharat is called Indian knowledge system. So the name of our country is actually Bharat. And India is the name given by British maybe 200 years ago. Before that, this country was called as Bharat. Right? Because of Indus Valley civilization, which they named it as. Actually, it is Sindhu river ke bagal mein jo civilization tha. So that is called as Indus Valley civilization. So the land this side is called India. That's how they start calling it as India, India. And we are also now calling ourselves Indians. So we have become colonized. Colonization. And the current trend is that we are trying to remove the colonization and bring back the original names, the original culture and things of India, of Bharat. So the name Bharat itself is very significant. It carries a lot of meaning. Okay, can anybody say why this country is called as Bharat? Okay, Bharata Maharaja ruled. You know which Bharat Maharaj? Yeah? Okay, son of Dushyanta and Shakuntala, that is one Bharata from his dynasty. Because he ruled, this country is called as Bharat. Even Arjuna is addressed by the name Bharata, because Arjuna is coming in the line of Bharat Maharaj. And there is another Bharata, Ramachandra's brother Bharata, he was also there. And there is another Bharata mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, who is son of Rishabhadeva, who is also called as Bharata. So because of many Bharatas ruling this country is called as Bharata. And the word Bharata in Sanskrit also has a meaning. The Bharat word has two. If you do Sandhi, it has Bha and Ratha. Bha means light, Prakash. Like we say Prabha, Bhaskara, so light. And it is not tube light, it is actually not sunlight also. Jnana Deepa, the light of knowledge. Okay. Jnana Deepena Bhasvata, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So Bha means the light of knowledge. Rata means engaged. Like in Hindi we say, Padai mein rat hai, khelne mein rat hai. So Bharata means people who are engaged in the light of knowledge. Those who are practicing the culture of knowledge. So that place is called Bharata. And people who are practicing this culture, they are called as Bharatiya. Okay. So in Vishnu Purana, there is a shloka which says, Uttaram yat samudrasya, samudra ke uttar ki taraf, and Himadrashchaiva dakshinam, Himalaya ke dakshin mein, Varsham tad Bharatam nama, that place is called Bharata Varsha. Bharati yatra santati, and where Bharatiyas stay, the descendants of Bharat Maharaj stay. So this is Bharat. And Bharat was vast. Now we have a map of India which is very small, but actually Bharat was vast. About 1000 years back, this is how Bharat looked. The whole land. You know where was Gandhari from? Gandhar? Afghanistan, Kandahar. So Shakuni, Gandhari, they were all from Afghanistan. So, but now the culture there is destroyed, and because of several reasons. Even up to Iran, even up to Azerbaijan, even up to Europe, this culture was there. Even in Europe, people use this swastika, you know. Swastika is our symbol. But Nazis, they use that symbol because it's also there in their culture, isn't it? So even in Southeast Asia, up to Indonesia, you can find Vedic cultures, evidences, even now. So Bharat was vast, but later on it got divided because of several reasons which all of you have studied in history. So let's come to the topic of Vedas, which is the most important topic for today. Veda, when people hear the word Veda, they think that it is a religious book. But actually the word Veda means knowledge. Knowledge about everything is there in the Vedas. Okay? The whole body of knowledge which our Bharat has given us is called Veda, and they are categorized into several divisions which we will see soon. So Veda means knowledge, and Vedas have a divine origin. As I said, our history is timeless. Okay? There are yugas, there are manvantaras, there are parardhas, huge time scales we talk about. Right? So the history of Bharat is timeless, and they are and timeless in the sense they are given at the time of creation by the creator. Just for example, suppose if you purchase any new phone or a washing machine or a fridge, along with that what do you get? Manual, user manual, which will tell us how to use this machine, right? Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita talks about this whole world being a machine, yantra rudhani maya. This is like a whole world is like a yantra, a machine which operates, and operator is there who is operating it. Like for example, this projector is running, this fan is running, because somebody has operated it. Somebody is operating it, right now. Similarly, the college is running because somebody is operating it, or some group of people are operating it, isn't it? So behind every phenomena which we see in this world, there is a person or an operator for it. Similarly, this whole machine of the universe is like a cosmic machine which is operating very perfectly. Every day sun rises on time, sun sets on time. We may come late for the college, but sun is never late. Moon is rising on time, setting on time, seasons are changing on time, seasonal crops come on time, like mango season will come now. You get nice delicious mangoes. So like this, everything is systematically happening, so who is controlling? So the supreme controller of this universe, the creator of this universe, he has given a manual which is called as Veda, the knowledge about this world. Okay? So it is a short video about Vedas, so kindly listen to this.
The Vedas are amongst the oldest religious scriptures known to mankind, and are the source of India's spiritual and cultural heritage. At first glance, the multifaceted culture of the Vedas is a foreign and fascinating mystery to the Western eye. Yet upon deeper examination, we discover a wealth of philosophical, cultural, and social values. India is renowned the world over for the practice of yoga, which increases one's mental and physical strength. However, this is only a fraction of what the Vedas can offer to a progressive global community. India's culinary arts, music, natural medicine, and other sciences are only now becoming known to the West. Conceivably the world's oldest holistic design system, the Vastu Shastra predates and inspired the popular Chinese system of Feng Shui. The design of a temple, house, or workspace has been proven to exert a considerable influence on one's well-being. The Vastu Shastra was compiled specifically to address this concern and offers practical architectural guidelines. This style of sacred architecture has been implemented in the building of India's largest temples for thousands of years. The sculptures adorning these temples reflect the development and accomplishments of one of man's oldest civilizations. They depict the struggles, failures, and successes of the men who made them the center of their lives. The sophisticated Vedic sciences of astrology, astronomy, cosmology, and metaphysics profoundly influenced the Greeks, Babylonians, and even contemporary scientists with their unparalleled knowledge. Ancient Vedic sages presented precise calculations a millennium before Copernicus, Galileo, Newton and Einstein.
So much before Galileo, Copernicus, which are very famous names which we hear, Bhaskaracharya, Aryabhatta, and Sushruta, Charaka, and many other sages had given tremendous knowledge to all of us. Okay, but somehow we know only the modern scientists' names, but we don't know our sages' names and what they have given us. Okay. So before getting into the topic of Vedas, let us see the three ways of gaining knowledge, which is called as pramana. Okay, pramana means evidence of knowledge or the way of gaining knowledge, which are mainly three in number. In order to appreciate the Vedas, we should understand these pramanas. So that's why I am putting it here. Let's try to understand the pramanas with this example of an elephant and 6 blind men. So there is a village. In the village there were 6 blind men, and one creature came into their village, and the 6 blind men came to that creature and they start finding out what it is. And somebody was holding the front portion and he was saying, oh, it is a snake. Somebody was holding the tusk and he was thinking it is a arrow. And above he is sitting and he is thinking it is a fan kind of thing. And here he is thinking it is like a wall. And here he is thinking it is like a tree trunk. And the back portion, he is holding the back portion and he is thinking it is like a rope. Okay. So my question to all of you is their conclusion right or wrong? How many of you say they are right? Please raise your hands. Yeah, one. Anybody else? How many of you say they are right? Okay, only one. How? Okay, 2. Okay, there are some thinkers. 3, 4. Okay. Okay, fine. So, yes, madam, you are also saying they are right. Okay. How many of you say they are wrong? Please raise your hands. How many of you say they are wrong? Their conclusion is wrong? How many of you are confused? Okay, many are confused. Confused. Okay. May I ask you? Blue shirt here. Yeah. Why do you say that their conclusion is right? ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಗೆ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದರ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಅವರ ಪೂರ್ವ ಅನುಭವದ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅವರು ರೈಟ್. ಹಿಂದೆ ಯಾರು ಹಗ್ಗ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೋ ಆ ಹಗ್ಗವನ್ನು ಇದು ಮುಟ್ಟಿದಾಗ ಇದು ಹಗ್ಗದ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇತ್ತು, ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಗ್ಗ ಆಯಿತು. ಇದು ಹಾವಿನ ಥರ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಿತ್ತು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾವಾಯಿತು. ಲುಕ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಸ್ನೇಕ್, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಸ್ನೇಕ್. So based on his past experience, we compare with the present experience. Suppose you go to a hotel to eat some food. When you start eating, you compare. Oh, yesterday's was better, today's is bad. You start comparing, isn't it? Or okay, today's class is very good, yesterday's class is boring. Something like that, you start always comparing. The nature of the mind is to compare. So the past experience, you compare with the present experience. So these 6 blind men, they have experience of arrow, they have experience of snake, they have experience of rope. So they are able to make some conclusions based on that. Okay, he has experience of tree and wall, like that. So they are, now some of you said they are wrong, so they are right. And some of you said that they are wrong. Why they are wrong? Because what is this creature? Elephant. Everybody knows it is an elephant. So you clearly know they are wrong. It's very clear that they are wrong. They are relatively correct but absolutely wrong. Isn't it? From relative point of view, they are right, they are correct. But from absolute point of view, from all of you, those who know that this is an elephant, so from absolute point of view, they are wrong. Isn't it clear? So initially they were trying to understand the elephant by touching and feeling, so that's called pratyaksha. And they start guessing, maybe it is like that, maybe like that. So that's called anumana. Okay. Then one of you comes to them and says, my dear friends, wait, this is not tree, this is not snake, this is not rope, this is an elephant. And what you are touching is different parts of this elephant. So then they will say, oh, thank you sir, thank you so much. You helped us to understand that this is an elephant, we did not know. So the relative understanding improved to better understanding. Is it clear? So the third way of understanding, by hearing from a person who knows, that's called Shabda Pramana. So Pratyaksha, Anumana and Shabda. So these are the three ways of gaining knowledge. Now, replace this elephant with the creation, with the world. Many people have different opinions about this world. This world came by Big Bang. This world came by string theory. This world, some people say the world does not exist. We don't exist. Some people say, of course there are many opinions, there are millions of opinions. And similarly you can replace this elephant with God. Some say God does not exist. That's his opinion, we respect his opinion. Some people say, I am God. Okay, that's his opinion. And some people, okay, so in Vedas also it is said, God is described. We may have our own opinion, but that is still a relative opinion. But when you get a higher opinion, higher understanding, we should be ready to change our opinion and accept the better opinions. And what the Vedas give us, what the sages have given us, is from a very high point of view, the highest understanding of humanity. Okay, so that's how Vedas means Shabda Pramana. We may have our own opinions, but when Vedas says something, we should surrender. Okay sir, you are right, I am wrong. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವೇದ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ವೇದ ವಾಕ್ಯ ಅಂದರೆ ಸರ್, ಎಸ್ ಸರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ರೈಟ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ರಾಂಗ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೇದ ವಾಕ್ಯ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ಒಪಿನಿಯನ್ ಮತವನ್ನು ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಯಾವಾಗ ವೇದಗಳ ಮತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಎಸ್ ವಿ ಸರೆಂಡರ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಹೌ ಪವರ್ಫುಲ್ ದ ವೇದಾಸ್ ಆರ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಶಬ್ದ ಪ್ರಮಾಣ. Okay, so Pratyaksha Pramana, Anumana Pramana and Shabda Pramana. Pratyaksha means seeing through our senses, seeing through the eyes, ears and touch, smell, taste. So that's called Pratyaksha Pramana. But Pratyaksha Pramana is very powerful evidence. Like for I am in the room, I am seeing about 200 people are there here. It's Pratyaksha Pramana. It's an evidence. But it may not be. I may conclude, okay, the attendance of this class is only 200, but there may be some people who are absent because they are sick or something. Then I have to go and ask teachers, okay, what is the number of this attendance of this class and how many are present. Then I will get right. So that's called a Shabda Praman. Hearing from a person who knows, isn't it? So Pratyaksha sometimes is faulty because, like for example, see here, is there water on this road? No, this is called mirage. Is this stick broken? No. It is called refraction effect, isn't it? Are the tracks meeting? They are meeting, not meeting, they are apparently meeting. And here you will see the person appears to be distorted, fat and tall and short, but it is an illusion created because of the mirror. Okay? So is seeing believing? Yes, but not always. Okay? Sometimes our seeing may be faulty. Now second is guesswork. Okay, maybe like this, perhaps like that. So that's called as guesswork. Like for example, I might start guessing, maybe the attendance of this class is this much, but I'll never be able to come to a conclusion unless I ask someone. Isn't it? So similarly, guesswork. Maybe the creation happened like this, maybe like that. So that's all guessworks. I can come to some conclusion, but not the absolute conclusion, right? And the classic example for Anumana Pramana is Darwin's theory. So Darwin went to one island and he speculated. He saw that the fishes and reptiles are similar, so fishes became reptiles. And reptiles, they were putting their head up and trying to fly like some lizards stand like this, no? About to fly. So he thought, okay, reptiles became birds. And birds also evolved slowly to form higher birds, different varieties of birds. Then he saw similarity between monkey and man, and he said, man came from monkeys. So and he wrote a nice book and published it, The Origin of Species by Natural Selection. And also he gave another concept, survival of the fittest. Anyways, but this is all speculation. And he says that the whales came from polar bears. Polar bear wanted to eat fishes like this, and he became a fish after a long time. But we don't see that happening, right? When you do anumana, that should be substantiated by some pramana, pratyaksha pramana. But we don't see that happening. Has anybody in this room seen one species change to another species? Cat becoming a tiger, or dog becoming a sheep? No. Mutations can produce same variety of a little bit, maybe different variety of the same species. But mutations cannot produce another species, isn't it? So Darwin's theory is anumana pramana, and of course many scientists. In scientists also there are two classes. One is atheistic and the others are theistic. So theistic scientists believe in intelligent design, and atheistic scientists believe in chance theory. Einstein, Newton, Kelvin, Schrodinger, they are all in the theistic category. They are all intelligent design believers. And I will show some quotes at the end. And third way of gaining knowledge is Shabda Pramana, knowing from authority. A simple example I am showing you here to prove the efficiency of Shabda Pramana, that this boy is there. He was born, but till the age of 5 he never saw his father. Okay, and he was searching, who is my father, who is my father. So at that time, you meet him and he is asking, who is the father. So how can you help him know his father? What are the ways? Yes? Okay, before that, any other answers? I'll come back to that. Scientifically, how can you help his father, get his father? Yeah, DNA testing. DNA testing ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. Okay, suppose father age 40 years ಇದೆ, 40-45 ಮಧ್ಯೆ, then select all the people in that age, take their DNA, start matching, okay, and it may match, but it may take lot of time, lot of money, and maybe he may not be alive till that time the results come, isn't it? But there is another very efficient way. Okay, the way we discussed before is inductive method, by experimental method. Okay, try to find out who is my father by experiment. But there is another way called deductive method, trying to know the truth from person who knows. As she said, what is the answer? Ask the mother. So when you ask the mother can tell. Okay, this fellow with the dadi and mooch, no, he is your father. Bolo papa bolo, appa anta hedu. So then he knows, because mother knows. When we are born, our connection is first with the mother only. Then the mother introduces us to father. So because that's Shabda Praman. So similarly, Vedas are like mother and God is the supreme father, and Vedas tell us about God. And not only about God, but about the creation also. It talks about the creation. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, which is called Amala Purana, in the first shloka itself, it talks about the origin of the Vedas. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. So Lord Krishna gave knowledge to Brahma in the beginning of creation. Hridaya Adi Kavi Brahma, the first poet or the first creator Brahma, received the knowledge from the Supreme Lord Krishna in his heart. So that's how it is said. So Vedas have divine origin. That's what Vedas talk about. In Vedas only it is told how the Vedas originated. And it was passed down through disciplic succession. So Brahma spoke it to Narada, Narada spoke it to Vyasa, and Vyasadeva is the main compiler of the Vedas. Okay, whenever you say Veda, the compiler is Veda Vyasa. Vyasa Prasadat, Vyasara ಕೃಪೆಯಿಂದ ನಮಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವೇದಗಳು ಸಿಕ್ಕಿವೆ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಕೂಡ ವ್ಯಾಸರ ಪ್ರಸಾದವೇ. ವ್ಯಾಸ ಪ್ರಸಾದ ಶ್ರುತವಾನ್. Sanjay is studying Bhagavad Gita in the last chapter. By the mercy of Vyasa, I could see the battlefield of Kurukshetra and I could hear Bhagavad Gita. Right? So, then Vyasadeva gave it to different disciples, to 4 of them, and he told, okay, you expand Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, Sama Veda to different disciples, and they expanded it, they wrote it, and then they told their disciples. So like this, it has been propagated since 5,000 years. Up to 5,000 years, Vedas were never written down. Okay? Before 5,000 years, when students went to school, they did not carry books. I heard that now also people don't carry books because they have phone. Smartphones, they make notes there. But at that time, there was no smartphone, there was no books, but they had a very powerful hard disk, which is their brain.
They were smart.
Yeah, they were smart. Nowadays, things are becoming smarter and people are becoming dull. Right? If you tell how many books you have, yes sir, I have all the books of the world in my phone, but how much is in the brain? That you don't ask. So, it's not important how much we have in our pocket phone, but how much we have in brain, that is important. Because that knowledge which is not in the brain is not useful. Right? When you need, you can't say, no sir, wait 5 minutes, give me 5 minutes, I'll go search and come. No, it should be here. We should try to know as much as knowledge as possible and try to practice and realize it. So, Shruti Dhara, our Shruti Parampara, Guru will speak to the Shishya, Shishya will retain it in the mind and tell it to his Shishya, then his Shishya. In this way, it was passed down for generations together. And 5,000 years back, which is the beginning of Kali Yuga, and Kali Yuga, it is described that people in this Kali Yuga are Manda Sumanda Mateo Manda Bhagya Hupadrataha. People are dull-headed. And we don't remember what we studied yesterday. Okay, so we forget. We have to revise. And just before exam, lot of studies happens. And after the exam, after 1 day of the exam, you ask the question. It's forgotten. So not like that. They remember throughout their life. That's called Shruti Parampara. Okay, so it's coming. Even now the paramparas are going on. Even now the Vedic knowledge is being taught in bona fide paramparas. Now here is the important slide talking about Vedas. So the Vedic scriptures can be divided into Shruti and Smriti. Shruti Shastras and Smriti Shastras. Shruti Shastras are those books which are coming in parampara without any change, as it is, word by word, as it is, they are transmitted, and they have a check balance system. Even our Sanskrit language is so refined that even if you change one to a, you can find out the mistake. Right? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishami ma sucha is anushtup chanda. It's systematic. Even if you change one word, you can find out it is wrong shloka. So they have a system of check and balance by which they have preserved the knowledge. The language itself is so structured that knowledge remains preserved. One churu adar jote edward madakagala. Edward adar gottagbidutte because the systems are like that. So it has been passed down since ages. And there are main 4 Vedas. There are the Shrutis: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharva Veda. And these Vedas have got subsections in them. Each of them has thousands of shlokas, and they have got subsections like Vedangas, like Vyakarana, grammar, Jyotishya, astrology, and Nirukta, Shiksha, Chanda, Kalpasutra. Then there is Upavedas. Right? There are subsidiary Vedas like Artha Veda, Dhanur Veda, Gandharva Veda, Ayurveda. Ayurveda means study of life, how to increase our lifespan, how to live a happy life. Gandharva Veda is like music. Then there is Dhanur Veda, martial arts, warfare. It's called Dhanur Veda. Okay. And there are different sections of books containing different topics. There are Samhitas, Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and Upanishads. Upanishads are also part of this. There are 108 Upanishads in total. And then there is Smriti. Smritis are those books and stories which are remembered and shared. Okay. It may not be word to word as it is, but the story remains the same, but in your own words you can explain. Sometimes they tell you, okay, please write in your own words about this topic in about 200 words like that. They give essays. So you write the message without changing the subject matter. As it is, you explain it. So that's called Smritis. So whatever the Shrutis are speaking, Smritis explain it very nicely, poetically, with stories, case studies, like that. Okay. Like for example, Athato Brahma Jignasa. Janmadiyasya. Vedas talk about this sutras, and those sutras are expanded. Like Janmadiyasya, there is a sutra. From him came everything. Now to explain that whole Srimad Bhagavatam is written. To explain one sutra with many stories and lessons like that. So there are 18 major Puranas and 18 Upapuranas, and Srimad Bhagavatam is considered to be the topmost among them. Then there are Dharma Shastras like Manu Samhitas. Then there are Tantras. Then there are Itihasas. What is Itihasa? Histories, right? Ramayana, Mahabharata, they are considered to be histories. But many Western philosophers, they call Ramayana, Mahabharata as mythologies. So what is mythology? Mythology ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ಮಿತ್ ಶಬ್ದ ಬರೋದು ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶಬ್ದದಿಂದ. ಮಿಥ್ಯಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಅಂತ ಅರ್ಥ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಕಟ್ಟ ಕಥೆಗಳು ಅಂತ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ಸೇ ಹೇಳಿದರು. Actually, to call them mythology is an insult to our Vedic scriptures, because they are not mythology. They are actually itihasa. Itihasa, that which happened, is called itihasa. Right? So how many of you sitting here believe that Ramayana, Mahabharata are actual histories? Please raise your hands. Okay, many, almost 80%. Okay, how many of you disbelieve? ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ಟುಕಥೆಗಳು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್, ಕಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೋರೀಸ್. Okay, so nobody. How many of you are doubtful? Doubtful. Okay, some people did not raise their hands. Okay, some they are doubtful. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate. We should be honest. Okay, because we are not taught all these things. ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಯಾರು ಕಲಿಸಿಲ್ಲ ನಮಗೆ. And some people did not raise hands for anything. Means I don't have any fourth option. You have to come to any of these three options only. Okay. Now those who raise hands that I believe in this, that they are itihasa, what makes you believe that they are factual histories? Any proof? What is the evidence? Oh, very good. Thank you. So in Lanka you can find evidences of Sita's presence and temples, right? Even Vedic culture is there in Lanka, although it's a different country, but it was part of Bharata, isn't it? Now, any other that's about Ramayana. Any evidence for Mahabharata? Kurukshetra city is still there. That place where Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna is still there, right? Yeah, Dwaraka, correct. So in Mahabharata, at the end of Mahabharata, it is described that Krishna had created this city as an island in the ocean, and there is a bridge connecting to the land. And when Krishna was ending his Leela, at that time he sent all the residents back to the other world, the Vaikuntha world, and he submerged it in the ocean. That's how Mahabharata ends. Now we have to have some evidence. So the scientists read that section. Okay, we'll go inside and see. So there was Mr. Rao, a scientist, who took this task. He got some funds and started going inside and started searching. Initially they did not get anything, but when they went a little deeper into the ocean, they started finding some walls, some architectures, some and surprisingly they found one mudra. Mudra means Aadhaar card. Like all of you Aadhaar card now. So at that time Krishna had the system. Of course Krishna, Ugrasen Maharaj was the king, so he had made a system that there was a coin which everybody should carry, and that had the symbol of 3 heads, an animal with 3 heads. Mahabharata talks about this. Now when Mr. Rao was excavating, he actually found that mudra, and every citizen was supposed to carry that mudra as an Aadhaar card, identity card, to come inside the city. So the gatekeepers used to check, isn't it? So that is a very powerful evidence. And of course because of several reasons the research was stopped, but now again it has restarted. And our Honorable Prime Minister also went to see. Many of you must have seen the video. So that's a powerful evidence of Dwarka. And on the beach, there is Dwarka city. When they started excavating, they found layer after layer after layer of buildings. And they have a big temple which they have excavated now. Okay, so you can see that if you go to Dwarka. Okay, that's evidence for Mahabharata and Ramayana being. What more proof we need? What else we need proof? And Kuruksh, Hampi is Kishkinda. Kishkinda, right? Yeah? Anjanadri Parvat, Hanuman's birthplace is here. Ramasetu bridge kuda kansate. And we have all the holy places. Now current Bihar is actually Magadha, where Jarasandha was staying. Right? So like this, all the places are still there. So we have to see the names of the current places with what Mahabharata talks about. It is matching. So it is real history. And Bhagavad Gita is part of Smriti, but it is also called as Upanishad, Gita Upanishad. And there are writings by great acharyas like Madhvacharya, Ramanacharya, Shankaracharya and many other sages. And also we have many bhaktas, saints writing their songs, like our Kannada has Kanakadasa, Purandarasa. They are nothing but Vedas, but in song format. Vedagala Saravanne or Hadidare. Okay, in Maharashtra you'll find Tukaram Maharaj, or in South India you'll find Tyagaraja and Alvars. So they are all given the same teachings of the Vedas in different ways. Okay, they are also called as Veda. Okay, this is another elaborate chart of the Vedas. I have heard that Vedas contain 1 lakh into 1 lakh shlokas. 10 to the power of 10 shlokas. It's very vast. And what topics Vedas talk about? There is Karma Kanda, there is Jnana Kanda. Karma Kanda means what? Generally we want material pleasures. We want a happy life. We want good food, good clothing. Some people want good wives, some people want good husbands. Some people want Swarga, some people want home, car, land, property. Okay, Karma Kanda section. You do this, you will get this. You live your life like this, do punya, you will get this. So that's what is Karma Kanda. Right? So Putrarthi labhyate putram, Dhanarthi labhyate dhanam, like that. No? Their shlokas are there. So you do some yajnas, you will get that. But that is for less intelligent people. Okay. For more intelligent people, they go to Jnana Kanda. They start thinking, who am I? Even if I get all the wealth, I have to leave and go. Even if I get all the opulences like Indraloka, still I have to leave and go. Even if you go to Swarga, Hiranyakashipu will come and trouble us. So there is no happiness there. Okay, let's think about higher purpose of life. Who am I? What is moksha? So that is Jnana Kanda sections. Okay. And beyond that, there are also Upanishads, Upasana Kanda sections which talk about worship of Supreme Lord. So Jnana Kanda and Upasana Kanda is also there. And then there are Upanishads. Okay, each Veda has got many Upanishads, and some acharyas have categorized 10 as important. Like we have Aitri Upanishad part of Rig Veda. We have Yajurveda into 2, Krishna Yajurveda and Shukla Yajurveda. And there is Kathopanishad, Taittiriya Upanishad, Isha Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, Prashna, Mundaka and Mandukya Upanishads. These are actually Upanishads given in the. There are 108, but 10 are considered important. And there are many sages, great rishis. You will see in every part of India, some great saint has appeared and given us the Shastras and explained and propagated the Vedas, right? So Vedas mean to know the reality, to know the truth as it is, Shabda Pramana. Upanishad means, Upa means stay close. Nishad means to sit down and hear. So sit down near Guru and hear. That's called Upanishad. Okay? What is Upavasa? Fasting? You are wrong. How can Upavasa means, how is it fasting? Upavasa, how is it connected to fasting? Staying? Madam is saying the right answer. Upa means closer. Vasa means stay. Staying close to God. The day when you are supposed to stay close to God by doing spiritual activities is called Upavasa. That is the Sanskrit meaning. Now, how is it connected to fasting? Yes, madam. How does it help in fasting help? Yeah, ಅಡಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ purchasing time udito, okay, cooking time udito, eating time, breakfast, lunch, dinner, 3 times, maybe some snacks, tea, coffee in between, ella time udiyuತ್ತದೆ at least, and then after that cleaning. So much time is saved. So fasting helps in giving more time to God and spiritual activities. So that's why upavasa is recommended. And generally twice a month upavasa is recommended. And scriptures say that Ekadashi is good day for fasting. Every 11th day of the moon, that's good for fasting. And recently I came across one paper written by a scientist. He says that if you fast for 24 hours every fortnight, if you fast for 24 hours, then the body rejuvenates itself and you can also kill cancer. Okay, the cancer cells will be killed automatically by intermittent fasting. So that's what scientific research paper has told. Yeah, maybe I can share that paper with you. For those who are interested, at the end I'll be sharing my email ID and phone number. If you just send a message, then I have a folder with many details. I can send it to you. You can go through it in your leisure. Okay. And most important among all is Bhagavad Gita, which is the song of God, which contains the essence of all the Vedas. So let's come to this point of modern science and Vedic science. Modern science is now accepting what Vedas are also telling. See, in Vedas, some things we have to believe. Vedas are telling, we believe it because it is true. In science also some things are there which we believe without any proof. They are called as axioms. You know axioms? Axioms are statements without any proof. And one of the axiom is a point. You can't prove a point, isn't it? Point is a dimensionless entity. But if you take a pen and paper, you put a point, it is still has dimension. So literally you can never define, you can define a point but you cannot draw a point. It's called an axiom. And what is line? Set of points. What is plane? A set of lines. So you assumed an axiom and you start expanding on it and it works, so we use it. Similarly, other axioms are like imagine number I is equal to root of -1. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. You cannot determine the position and velocity of a subatomic particle. Now whether electron is a particle or a wave, it's a question to ask. No? So quantum mechanics is all about this, isn't it? And then third law of dynamics, 0 Kelvin, 0 entropy. Has anybody achieved that point of 0 Kelvin? But we assume that at 0 Kelvin there will be 0 entropy. Entropy means disturbance. The motion of the subatomic particles will be still. We assume like that, but nobody has seen that, isn't it? Similarly, Vedas also give axiomatic truths. Plants have life. Now we may say plants don't have life, plants are dead. But Jagdish Chandra Bose proved, okay, plants have life. Then you may say, okay, embryology, our ancestors did not know about embryology. Only recently after X-ray and endoscopy has come, that time we know what is embryology. But no, 5,000 years back, Srimad Bhagavatam describes what happens on the first day of copulation, second day, seventh day, 1 month, 5 months, 6 months, 9th month, 10th month, what happens in the womb. It's all described in detail. Okay. At that time they had no X-rays, but still they knew through their vision. And cow dung is pure. We know that, right? All of us know cow dung is pure. In puja we use cow dung. Gomutra we use. Gomutre vasati Ganga. In Gomutra there is Ganga. It's considered pure. And when you do Graha Pravesh, what is the first ritual to do? First hasu hogutte mane olige. And the cow goes inside and then comes out, it's considered auspicious. Right? Cow is pure. But recently, scientists said cow dung has got antiseptic properties. Scientists said that now oppunti. Veda helate opkododilla. This is our foolishness. Then yoga, modern man is turning to yoga, meditation, Vastu Shastra, astronomy, astrology, metallurgy, like that. Right? Even many Westerners are coming. Kumbh Mela, how many Westerners came? I heard about 60 crore Indians went, Out of that 60 lakh were foreigners. That's what I heard. They came to take a dip in Ganga. And Ayurveda, you see, Nasti Moola Manoshadam, every leaf is a medicine. Only you should know what to use it for. Neem leaf, there is Tulsi leaf, there is, you can say there are many grasses, there is Brahmi, there is Amla. We should know how to use it, for what purpose. Right now, Yugadi is going to come. Yugadi din ಏನು ತಿಂತೀವಿ ಬೇವು ಬೆಲ್ಲ. ಸಂಕ್ರಾಂತಿ ದಿನ ಏನು ತಿಂತೀವಿ ಯಾಕೆ? Find out the answer. There is a reason behind it. No, Vedic mathematics. Vedic mathematics, right? In my school days, I got this book and I was very fascinated. I used to study, read this book. Complex multiplications, divisions, we can do very easily. Without using pen and paper, you can do. Such wonderful sutras are given. And this is Surya Siddhanta. Now you appreciate scientists like Galileo, who found out the interplanetary distances and all, but our sages, Surya Siddhanta authors, they gave the calculations. See, Surya Siddhanta calculations and modern calculations. How many days it takes for planets to go round the sun. So they have already given it, and it is matching. Now this short video, kindly see this. What Indians have given to the world. We gave the numbers to the world. 1 to 10 we gave. 0 also we gave. "5,000 years back there was no civilization in other places, but in India, advanced civilization. Harappan culture. Chess is a world famous game, and Indians gave it to the world. Shatranj. The oldest living city is Banaras. All other old cities are gone. They are just debris, but city of Varanasi is still there. Martial arts came from India, Kerala, Kallaripatte. Then world's first university is was in Takshashila, and then Nalanda. Even before Harvard, Oxford, Stanford, Ohio, or whatever, we were advanced. Sanskrit is mother of all languages, all Indian languages and Western languages also. Deva Bhasha, Devanagari. And Charaka gave medicine 2500 years back. India was very, very rich. Now we say India is poor, but it was rich. Sone ki chidiya thi. And Britishers came to loot India. Bhaskaracharya calculated the time taken the earth to orbit the sun. Thousands of years before. Value of pi, Indians gave it. Pythagoras theorem, Indians gave it. First dam was built in 150 BC in Saurashtra. Sushruta did surgery 2600 years ago. Cesarean, cataract, artificial limbs, fractures, urinary stones also. Algebra, trigonometry, quadratic equations, they all came from India. See, the Hindus use numbers as big as 10 to the power of 53. Okay? But modern scientists, they use terabyte, 10 to the power of 12. That's all. But we use calculation like this. Manvantara, Yuga, Parardha, it's very big number. It is. So our technology, our science was much more advanced. Okay? Another proof of advanced technology is Vimanas. Okay, aeroplanes. Now you may say America is very advanced in jet planes, flying saucers and other things, but actually Indian technology is much more advanced. In Vaimanika Shastra books, the models of Vimanas, of propulsion systems, they use mercury systems to propel, which created by gyrations fast rotation, they created anti-gravity force and they took off. That's how it is explained. So they use mercury-based propulsion systems, not rocket fuel or petrol like that. And they could control very fine aeroplanes. They could control them with mind. And you hear of Pushpaka Vimana in Ramayana. In Mahabharata, you hear about Shalva using a mystical plane which was appearing, disappearing, and it was throwing bombs at Dwarka, and Krishna killed him. So that we hear. So like these evidences of aeroplanes are there, and scientists are now researching on the Vaimanika Shastras.
India. Over 1.1 billion people crowd its modern cities and rural townships, speaking hundreds of languages and practicing a number of different religions. India is considered one of the oldest civilizations, with settlements dating back over 11,000 years. It is also home to several of the oldest records of ancient technologies. Ancient Sanskrit texts dating back as far as 6000 BC describe in varied but vivid detail flying machines called vimanas.
Vimanas are aeroplanes, and they are powered by some jet engines. This seems to be true because all the description of the flight behavior, elephants ran away in panic, grass was thrown out because there was a lot of pressure from behind those vimanas, so that we can say this is a description of the spaceship.
Although mainstream historians believe the Vimana texts are myths, many of the documents contain passages that seem to describe modern machinery and technology.
The Vaimanika Shastra goes into metals that are used in each craft. It talks about electricity and power sources. It talks about the pilots and the clothing they have to wear. It talks about the food that they eat. It talks even about the weapons that are kept on these airships.
The flight manual.
Okay, so there's a 15 minutes long video. I'll share it with Sir, Girish Sir, and he can share it with all of you also. So now coming to the important point, philosophies and systems, concepts in the Vedas. There are 6 of them. I'll quickly go through them. Okay, and some of them will be new for you, so kindly pay attention. Okay. So there are 2 energies which Vedas talk about, Jada and Chetana, or inferior and superior energy. Okay. So inferior energy is called Apara Shakti, and there are 5 plus 3, 8. Pancha Mahabhuta, earth, water, fire, air and ether, Pancha Mahabhuta, and Mana Buddhi Ahankar. Okay, they are the inferior energy, which is told in Bhagavad Gita. Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Kham Manobuddhare Cha Ahankari Iti Yamme Bhinna Prakritirashtadha, it says. So here you see gross body, it's made of 5 elements. We can see the body, we can touch the body, that's called gross body. But inside there is subtle body, Manobuddhi Ahankar, which we can't see but we can experience. Like your phone, it has got a hardware which you can touch and feel, but there is Android, you can experience Android but you cannot touch it, right? You don't know where it is, but it's there everywhere. So that's like mind, intelligence and ego. They are called Antakarana. They are together one unit, but functions are different, Manobuddhi Ahankar. Now within this is Atma, the soul, called Parashakti. Even if you have mobile, even if you have Android, without you pressing the button it will not work. So we need the user, living force. Similarly, our body has a hardware, we have software, but without Atma, body cannot function. Like we have car, you have petrol in the car, if you don't start it will not move. So similarly, the body moves because of Atma inside. So that's how Vedas talk about. It is science of soul. Soul is inside. Now soul is interacting through gross and subtle bodies. Like eyes cannot see. I see through the eyes. I am hearing through the ears. I am feeling or touching through the skin. Right? So who is the experiencer? that I is Atma. ನಾನು ಆತ್ಮ, ನನ್ನ ದೇಹ. ಇದೊಂದು ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದ ವಿಷಯ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಮೇನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಟಾಟ್ ಇನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಕಾಲೇಜಸ್, ಬಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೇನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಕಲಿತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. Right? You study mechanics, it is earth. You study about hydrodynamics, it is water. You study about wind technology, that is air. You study about fire, that is thermodynamics. Electron is also like a fire, electronics. Then you also study about antennas and transmission system, that's ether. We study of all these things, and some people study psychology, which is about mind, but how many people are studying about Atma, which is the consciousness? Okay. So that is about soul, and many evidences, shlokas talking about soul. So we are born in a tiny body as a baby. The baby grows, we become adult. Maybe somewhere here we are now, right? All of you will be somewhere here, and you become elderly, old, and die. What happens to the soul after death? The end? Nothing else? Yeah? What happens? ಮತ್ತೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಬರ್ತಾರಾ? ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮ, right? That's told in Bhagavad Gita. You again take birth. May not be as a human, can be a tree or animal also, based on your karma. Okay? And second concept, I am going very fast. Concept of soul only I have a 1.5 hour presentation. Okay, but I am just going in 5 minutes each concept. Now here, 3 gunas. Daivi Esha Gunamayi Maya. This material world is controlled by 3 gunas, and those 3 gunas are Sattvam, Rajas, Tamayiti, Guna Prakriti Sambhava. So Prakriti ke 3 guna hai, good Sattva-guna, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, and each guna has got its characteristics. Okay, Sattva-guna is characterized by purity, knowledge and harmony. Rajaguna by passion, action, energy and motion, and Tamaguna by laziness, impurity, darkness, like that. Krishna talks about this in Bhagavad Gita 14th chapter. Everything in this world can be characterized into 3 gunas. Okay, for example, which is the places are in 3 gunas. What are, like for example, temple is in Sattva guna. Marketplace, it is in too much activity, too much action, Rajaguna. And pubs and bars, they are in Tamaguna, because people do bad activities, impure activities. Okay. Now food also will be in 3 modes. Sattvic food like milk and vegetables and fruits and grains, Sattva-guna. Rajasic, Krishna talks about Rajaguna food. Ati Tikshna, Ati Ushna, Ruksha, Vidahina, so which burns your body, too salty, too hot, like sizzlers, too hot, steaming hot, that's Rajaguna. And then, and Tamaguna is junk food. Yatayamam, Gatarasam, Puti, Paryushitam, putrefied, decomposed, dead bodies. So eating such food is called as Tamaguna. Okay? People also can be in 3 modes. All of us are in 3 modes or mixture of 3 modes. How to identify a person in Tamaguna? He is addicted to bad habits, it's quality of Tamaguna. Right? Smoking, drinking, it's tamas. Or as soon as he gets free time, he wants to sleep. Nidra, that's called Tamaguna. When a person has free time and he wants to earn more money, I want to become richer, let me work hard and hard and hard, that's called passion, Rajaguna. And if somebody has free time and he thinks of doing seva, or let me study some good books like Bhagavad Gita, or let me go do some seva, that's called as Sattva-guna, right? So you can know what is a person's nature by the 3, by his nature. He is in Sattva, Rajaguna, Tamaguna, or mixture of these 3. Okay, I have another session on identifying my personality type. With a 1 hour session, we discuss these 3 with nice Venn diagram, mixture of these 3. And we are supposed to be Raja Rishi, mixture of Rajaguna and Sattva-guna. Sattva represents saint, Rajaguna represents king, Raja. Raja Rishi agvek now. That is a leader. So we'll discuss maybe sometime later. When you understand the three guna concept, you can easily understand the four varnas, or you can say social divisions. Now I am not talking about caste system here. This is not caste system, there is varna system. Caste system is a distorted, perverted, ugly version of varna system. Okay, what is happening now in India is nothing but a distorted version of this. But original system given in Vedas is varna, as per their guna and karma. Guna karma vibhagashaha, Krishna says in the 4th chapter Gita. Those who have got very good sattva and they are having a pure lifestyle, right? Shamo, damaha, tapaha, saucham, kshanti, rajam, evacha, jnanam, vijnanam, astikyam, brahma karma sabhavajam. They are pure, they are clean, they are sense controlled, they are knowledgeable, they teach. So they are called as teachers. They are called brahmanas. They walk their talk, they lead pure life, they live life of integrity. So that is brahmanas. Very high quality people. Very few. Nowadays many people are rubber stamp. Hindus are rubber stamp brahmanas. But actually those who have these qualities, they may be born in any family. But if they are displaying these qualities, so they can be called as brahmanas. That's what Vedas talk about. Guna karma vibhagasha. And kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are those who have tejaha, dhritihi, kshamam, shaurya, virya, so those have power, courage, and so that kind of people who give protection, they are called as kshatriyas. It's spoken in 18th chapter of Gita. Okay. Kshatrayate, those who protect others from danger, they are kshatriyas. They are in Rajaguna. And they are Vaishyas. Vaishyas are wealth producers. Krishi, Goraksha, Vanijya, Vaishyakarma, Swabhavajam. They work on land, produce grains, protect cows and give cow products, and they do business. And they produce wealth and they give 25% tax to Kshatriyas so that they can maintain the kingdom. And they give charity to the Brahmanas so that Brahmanas can continue their Gurukula and teaching. And Vaishyas also provide salary to the Shudras for their work. So in this way they produce wealth and maintain others. Okay. And then there are Shudras who are skilled artists. They are talented in certain fields. Somebody is good in field work. Somebody is a good carpenter. Somebody is good in metal works. So in this way different categories of arts they knew. So they assisted everyone. So the ratio was in 1000 people there will be one Brahmana, 9 Kshatriyas, 99 Vaishyas and 900 Shudras, like that. So that was the general ratio in the system. Okay, so there are the social divisions and there are spiritual divisions. Our life is divided into 4 phases. First 25 years, middle, second 25, then third 25 and last 25 years. Assuming the life is 100 years, okay. Now first 25 years is supposed to be brahmachari life or student life. In this 25 years, person is supposed to study, learn. It's called learning phase. You take knowledge. And to gain knowledge, a student is supposed to follow strict celibacy. Okay. Men are supposed to follow celibacy and women chastity. And in this way, they can retain the knowledge. But if in the youth, boys and girls get into relationship, studies gaya bhadme. So they can't study. So their life is wasted. Okay. So that's why, youth generally draw the heart. In between there is arrow. You know why that arrow is? Because always it ends in pain. So that's why in student life, one should focus on studies. And second phase of life is grahastha life, where one can honestly get married to one wife and live a loyal life and stay together, have children, have home, have car, enjoy all the material opulences. At the same time, whatever you have learnt in brahmacharya, keep following it. Don't compromise the principles. Chanakya Pandit says, Matrotparadareshu, one is already married, don't look at other women. Be happy with one wife. So that's what means. We follow the brahmachari principles even in grahastha life. So that's 25 years where you earn wealth. And then next 25 years is retired life. After 50 years, generally suppose you get married at 25, by the time you reach 50, your children are 25. And they should take up the task of home, maintaining the home. and the elders should retire and focus on giving out. Do seva, do tapasya, learn more knowledge and try to perfect your life. So that's the retirement phase. And then some people can take sannyas. Not everybody can take sannyas. Satnyasa means in vanaprastha life, husband and wife stay together and continue their sevas. But sannyasa life, complete giving up everything. San nimitte varam tyago. For the sake of God, give up everything and travel to do good to others. Like we have many examples of sannyasis in this world. Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and many other great saints who left home to give knowledge to others, and for them the whole world is their family. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, right? So the shlokas are 18.42, 43, 44. In these three verses, the four varnas are described. And coming to Panchakosha, Vedas talk about 5 koshas in Taittiriya Upanishad. As I told you that soul is now covered by gross and subtle body, so the soul's consciousness is sankuchita. It has become limited. Now the goal of life is to evolve the consciousness of the soul. And the consciousness of the soul can be in 5 stages. First stage is Annamaya. A person in Annamaya, he only thinks about food. Where is my food? Okay, as soon as he gets up, bed coffee. As soon as class is over, samosa outside, right? In the night, midnight, he feels hungry. Okay, Zomato, pizza, order. So he always thinks about food. Then after stomach is full, then he thinks about security, money, bank balance. Okay, I should put CCTV at home, secure the home, like that. And after that, Manomaya Kosha. Okay, I have to study now. I have to do some research. Okay, I have to become successful. So that's called Manomaya Kosha. Like scientists, poets, artists, they are here. Sometimes they start writing poem, they forget eating, sleeping. Once APJ Abdul Kalam was asked by an interviewer, sir, I have to ask you one important question. What is it? Why you did not get married in life? He remained bachelor throughout his life. She said, I was so busy in research, I forgot about it. That is Manomaya Kosha, because they are quite absorbed in research. And then you might wonder why Einstein has this. They don't have time to think about it. They are quite absorbed in research. They don't have hairstyle. Most of the scientists are like that. No? They are quite weird because they are absorbed in Manomaya Kosha. They don't bother about body much. And higher than that is Vijnanamaya. Vijnanamaya means a person starts thinking about Atma, Paramatma, and trying to attain knowledge about self and the world. So it's called Vijnanamaya, wisdom body. Then Anandamaya, the stage when Atma comes in contact with Paramatma. Sukhena Brahma Samsvarsham. So when it contacts Paramatma and realizes God, it's called Anandamaya. Now same thing is copied by Westerners in the form of Maslow's need hierarchy. There is a Maslow. He gives this hierarchy. Same thing in different terms. Okay, first need of man is roti kapda makan. Okay, and if roti kapda makan is fulfilled, then he needs security and safety, paisa and home. And then there is need of relationships. He wants some friends to talk to. That's Manomaya Kosha. Then he needs accomplishment. He wants to be a CEO, MD. He wants to achieve something top. He wants to be the top. Then after that, even if going to the top, something is still lacking inside. Kuch to missing hai, because you start thinking, sab kuch chhod ke jana padega. When death comes, I have to leave and go. So then you start thinking about self-realization, self-actualization, and become spiritual. Anandamaya Kosha. So the next concept is 4 goals of life. I told about 4 ashramas, 4 varnas, now 4 goals. The first goal of human life is to follow dharma. Dharma means ethics, rules, regulations. Right? Brahmacharya has got his dharma. Grahastha has got his dharma. Vanaprastha, sannyasa, they have got their own dharma. Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, they have got their dharmas. Following that loyally will give you wealth. That's called artha. Some people do corruption and take corrupted money. Corruption money, sinful money will create trouble only to you. Right? ಅನ್ಯಾಯದಿಂದ ಗಳಿಸಿದ ದುಡ್ಡು ತೊಂದರೆನೇ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ನೈತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಗಳಿಸಿದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಸಂತೋಷ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. Right? And lot of mental anxiety comes because of cheating propensity, isn't it? So that honest wealth can fulfill your desires. You want a home, you want a car, you want clothes, jewelry, that's karma. And after that, after all the desires are fulfilled, he wonders, next what? I have so much of gold, but no, death is coming. Everything will remain here and I will go ahead. So then you start thinking about moksha. What is the real goal of life? Is to elevate the soul. So in this way, dharma, artha, kama, moksha is goal of life. Now whatever I have spoken till now is actually given in Bhagavad Gita in very systematically. If you can't read the Vedas in entirety, at least start reading Bhagavad Gita, which is like a zip file of all the Vedas. And you start unzipping, you will get so much of depth of knowledge. Gita was spoken directly by Krishna to Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. 18 chapters, 700 slokas only. Only 700 slokas. If you read, it takes only Krishna spoke in 45 minutes. We may take longer time. It was spoken 5180 years ago. And before that, it was spoken to Sun God and Vayasvata Manu long ago. And Sanjay was hearing Bhagavad Gita live transmission and telling it to Dhritarashtra, like that. And Shankaracharya says that one who reads Gita becomes free from fear and lamentation. Bhaya shokadi varjitaha. So if you want to become free from all anxiety, stress free, read Gita every day. Shloka a day. Keep anxiety away. Keep reading one shloka every day morning. And here are the 5 important topics of Gita: Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Karma and Kala. We have a course. I can share the course playlist with you. You can listen to it separately. And many great personalities like Albert Einstein read Gita. When I read the Bhagavad Gita, the only question left is how God created the universe. Everything else seems superfluous. Albert Einstein was reading. And T.S. Eliot, American poet, he also was reading. He says that Arjuna had such stability of mind on the battlefield of Kurukshetra that even very intelligent people, observers, cannot have it, he said. Because Arjuna was very, very composed even in the battle. Mahatma Gandhiji read Gita, he always carried a Gita. And even Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, the former president of India, he also read Gita. He wrote a copy of Gita. Right? And many others also read Gita every day morning. And how Gita is relevant even today? 5,000-year-old book. Purana hai. It's for old people. It's for new people. It's old, but it is new. It is relevant. Right? So we have TV, mobile, computers, cars, comfortable life, but pain has gone from body to mind. A lot of stress, anxiety, depression, suicide, isn't it? So that's why you see this devotee is so happy. The Gita has put a full stop to sufferings of people since time immemorial. It can solve the real problem of life, that birth, old age, disease and death. Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, doshanu, darshanam. Can hospitals and doctors stop death? They can prolong. Maybe if you're about to die today, they may postpone it for a month by medicines and all. But nobody can stop death. But Gita can help you transcend death. No more birth, then no more death. So Gita can help you transcend death. Coming to the last section, maybe another 5 minutes, we'll end. So some salient features of Vedic culture was the Gurukula system, where education was free, but students gave Guru Dakshina voluntarily. Somebody was a farmer, they gave grains. Somebody was a goldsmith, they gave gold. Somebody was a king, he gave some land and cows. Like that, they gave charity. And purposefully, teachers will not take salary. They live on charity because they can speak the truth. For example, Chanakya and Chandragupta. Chanakya met Chandragupta as the king, but Chanakya lived a simple life. He did not take 1 paisa from Chandragupta, but he accepted charity. Whatever charity he gave or people gave, he used to live on that. Because then the command will be there. Brahmanas don't depend on anyone. They depend only on the protection of God, like that. So, and specific training to all students. Somebody is good in arts, they teach him arts. Somebody is good in archery, they taught him archery, like that. And evaluation systems were individual. Not that, okay, 90%, 95%, or 70% is failure, 90% is success, not like that. It was individual evaluation. And character was most important. Nowadays money is more important than character. कॉलेज के बाद कितना प्लेसमेंट, कितना पैकेज मिला, कौन सा जॉब मिला, इट इज़ गूगल और अमेजोन, माइक्रोसॉफ्ट. People compare like that. They consider that to be success. But in the past, character and satisfaction was the criteria of success. Another feature was cow-based and land-based system, and sustainability was very important. There is no pollution, there is no exploitation. It was a very sustainable model. There is no waste produced. Every waste was the input to the other. Kitchen waste goes to cow and animals. Cow dung goes to fields. Fields produce grains. So the loop completes, isn't it? And Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, whole world is one family. And there are great kings who emphasized this and enforced it in their kingdom, like great kings like Yudhishthir, Parikshit, Shivaji Maharaj, about whom all of you know. Now, evidence of Vedic culture around the globe. You know which is the biggest temple, biggest Vedic temple in the world? Angkor Wat. Where it is? Cambodia. Cambodia is here. Okay. India is here. But here the Vedic temple, biggest temple is here. Okay. So far, because at even 1000 years back, if you read the Chola histories, they were there. Even up to Indonesia, till here, till Philippines, they were all controlling. Even the waterways, islands were being controlled by Cholas at that time. So we had advanced technology and the culture was far spread here. And my sister visited Java, Indonesia. There is Ganesha temple, there is Shani temple, very old temples. Okay, but she was not allowed inside because foreigners not allowed. They had written. Again, Indian temples we write, foreigners not allowed because of some reasons they don't allow. So even up to Iran, in Iran there is a community called Yazdi community. They follow South Indian culture. They worship peacock or they worship Kartikeya, they offer lamb, chant mantras like that. But very minority. They are also disappearing very fast because of several reasons. In Azerbaijan, one of our devotee Swamis visited there and he found a Agni temple with Sanskrit written on it in the stone, temple of Agni in Azerbaijan. So even far west, in Russia, there is a book called as Russian Veda which resembles the story of Krishna. Okay, similar to Krishna's story. Okay, very quickly, just see the photos of the temple of Angkor Wat. See Ramayana, Mahabharata inscriptions on the wall. There is warfare. Here Ganesha is writing Mahabharata and Vyasadeva is dictating Mahabharata. Vishnu on Garuda, Garuda's temple. Ravana fighting with monkeys. So in India we have circles and we have some politicians, some great famous people in the circle. In Indonesia they have Arjuna, they have Bhima, they have Kumbhakarna, they have Karna and Ghatotkacha fighting. Such kind of scenes are there. And which country airlines is Garuda Airlines? Huh? Malaysia? Garuda Airlines. Yeah. So there are so many temples and vigrahas there in the Western world, in the Southeast Asian countries. Garuda here, monkey here, Ramasetu, Sita Devi meeting Hanuman and Hanuman is explaining about Rama. So this is a temple. See Vishnu temple in the center, Brahma here and Shiva here. In front of Vishnu there is Garuda, there is Nandi in front of Shiva, there is Swan in front of Brahma, and all devatas in the sides, 33 crore devatas. They are all in the side. In the center there is Vishnu, Brahma and Shiva, Trimurtis. So that's how our Vedic culture, our temples also depicted this. Trimurti temple. Now, here's a question for all of you. How did all this suddenly decline? Yes? Invasions, correct? Any other reason? Invasions of starting with Ghori, Ghazni, Tughlaqs, and even when he attacked, what is his name? He attacked Nalanda. Who is that king who attacked Nalanda? So he burned Nalanda for 6 months. 6 months the books were burning in Nalanda. Such a big university. Anybody been to Nalanda here? I have gone there. I have seen what happened, what is there now. So it burned for 6 months, and then many of the Vedic research was lost. Okay, so invasions, and then Indologists, the British, they did more damage. Okay, 800 years of Mughal invasion, then 300 years of British invasion, and recently Western influence and Internet age. Internet age is keeping people busy and mobile and not able to attend festivals and do the rituals and pujas. They're too busy on smartphone, right? So Britishers, they did big damage, and Britishers made a conspiracy. They came to India with the intention of trade. They established East India Company to do trade, but while trading, they started creating dissension between kings. Divide and conquer. That's what they did, isn't it? Yeah, all of you studied history, right? Divide and rule. Divide and rule. So like this, they broke India into pieces, and they started ruling India. And somehow we got independence. But even after independence, we still did not wake up. After independence, we became independently dependent on the West. That's what happened. But it's time to wake up. See, our talk is English. I'm not talking in Kannada because we want in English language. But I'm talking Vedic knowledge in English. I can speak in Kannada also. I have a Kannada channel with 10,000 subscribers, and they listen to me. And we have Hindi. We have so many languages. Sanskrita. I can speak a little bit Sanskrit. But English, our dress is English. Only we three of us are wearing Indian dress. We have our ISKCON Gurukul where ICS syllabus Gurukul, but dress code is dhoti kurta. They come in tika, tilak and shika. They study ICS syllabus. They study Vedas also. We don't tell that no, we should go back to Gurukul and become only Babaji. No. Study the modern subjects. At the same time, also start studying the Vedas. Okay, start with Bhagavad Gita. So they broke the Gurukul system, misinterpreted the Vedas. They stopped agriculture-based economy. Okay. See, misinterpreting Vedas means Max Muller, he studied Sanskrit, misinterpreted Vedas to defame the Vedas. So don't read the foreign versions of Vedas. Read the Indian versions written by our sages. Okay, that will give better understanding. And they stopped agriculture-based economy, so cows and bulls were sent to slaughter. Nowadays India has India some years back they did pink revolution and they started exporting so much of beef. Actually, this is not Indian culture. Indian culture means to protect cows. Take care of cows and don't send the bulls to the slaughter. Of course, cows they protect because they get milk. After milk they send to slaughter. Bulls huttadindale karisibidtare to the slaughter. It is not right. So we have to protect cows and bulls. Britishers introduced this. Okay. Then Aryan invasion theory. Namma purvajaru European, white people, Gore log hamare purvaj hain, and they came to India and they settled here. So we should follow them. So that was Aryan invasion theory, which is false theory. Okay. So there is a video. I'll skip this because in interest of time. So I'll share it with the link. But now the world is realizing it. World is waking up. And so all over the world people are embracing Vedic culture. Tomorrow is Holi. And in all parts of the world Holi will be celebrated. Even in New York, America, Holi is being celebrated. In London, Holi will be celebrated tomorrow in our ISKCON temples. So world is waking up. See, people are getting married in Vedic way. They're following Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha and practicing spirituality. So this is the world waking up. So all of us also should wake up and start understanding about Indian knowledge systems. And this all credit goes to the great sages of India. Swami Vivekananda went in the 19th century. Swami Prabhupada, founder of ISKCON, he went in 20th century and established 108 temples all over the world, made thousands of disciples, printed millions of books, Bhagavad Gita. Till date, ISKCON has distributed 60 crore Gitas all over the world in 70 languages. And people all over the world are appreciating and reading and embracing this culture. So, our responsibility as humans and specifically Indians is what? to wake up, Uttishtaha, Jagrata, wake up, arise and understand our Vedic culture and make India a Vishwaguru. Right? That's what is the motto of the current government, that we want to make India the Vishwaguru. India has got vision of the Vedas. We should distribute it to all the world, and when the world follows, the world will be peaceful and happy place. Okay? Do you agree? Yes. Okay, begin your journey now. But if you don't do this, the problems are going to increase. More and more problems, mental sickness, health problems, wars are going to come. So let's start now. Let's study the scriptures. Let's study the Indian tradition, technology, and let's appreciate our Vedic sages and make our India proud and feel proud about it. So with this I end here. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Okay, so if you have any, I don't think there is time for question answers because of the time up. In case you want more information, you can just drop a message and I'll be happy to share the link to all of you. And in case you have any questions, I'm available here for another 5 minutes. You can come and have any question answers if you have. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you.